Welcome to another episode of Hey John. And today we're going to answer the question, if I had to do it all over again, would I still buy this Silverado EV LT? Well, I purchased this truck, the Silverado EV LT, almost a year ago in Tacoma, Washington. And I live in Northern California. So I literally drove it off the lot and took it on what would it be, about a 600-mile road trip, leaving the lot and driving back to far Northern California. And I have to tell you, the range on this thing is so nice. This truck gets over 422 miles on a charge, that on that first drive back, I had to stop and get stuff to eat or restroom breaks or whatever long before the truck ever needed to take a stop. So the range right out of the gate, this truck and the range that it comes with is just excellent for an EV truck. Now, after driving this truck for, well over 22,000 miles at this point in time, and almost 12 months, not quite, I'm gonna answer the question of would I buy it again? Absolutely. If you want to find out why, stick around and I will go through the pros and cons of this truck and why even today, after having it for a year, driving it for over 22,000 miles, I would still buy it again. Okay, so let's talk about some of the pros and cons, but while we're doing it, let's take a ride. So I purchased the Silverado EV because I wanted an EV. I didn't purchase it to save the world. One of the reasons I purchased it was to be able to save on fuel cost. I wanted to be able to drive a truck. And all of my current trucks cost a ton to drive, just from a fuel standpoint. And even in this heavy Silverado EV LT that gets like 1.9 miles per kilowatt, and I can show you on a screen here maybe. Well, right now we're getting 2.1, which is outrageous, more than we ever get. But that's because I just took off. As we go up the hill, it'll get worse. But this truck is still cheaper, less expensive to drive than either my gas or my diesel 250s. So, as I've noted before, it tows just as much as either of those trucks as far as what they're rated to tow and stuff. This will tow 12,500 pounds, and it does an excellent job, which is another one of the pros. I have done many loads in my dump trailer of over 10,000 pounds of gravel coming up a hill from about 400 foot elevation to 4,000 foot elevation up here in the mountains where we live. And it's a wonderful towing truck. I prefer to tow with this truck now over either my gas or diesel. You don't have high revving gas or a noisy diesel. There's just plenty of power. So to get back on track, what are the other main reasons why I was looking at a Silverado? Well, one of the other reasons I wanted to get specifically a truck is I didn't want to have, I was driving like a sedan to work, and so a lot of times I'd have to drive all the way home, 40 miles, get a truck, go back to town to get supplies for projects that we have ongoing around the house. As a lot of you know, over this past year, we installed a DIY solar system at the house. Matter of fact, if you're interested in checking that out, look up Hey John Solar on YouTube, and there's a whole series there of putting that system in place. And the truck came in incredibly handy for being able to bring things home for that project, whether it was pallets of wire, solar panels, whatever, and not have to make that second trip back down the hill. So, you know, that's kind of a personal convenience for me, but that is one of the reasons why I wanted to be able to get a truck. And since I wanted to be able to get a truck, but be able to get something with the equivalent of good gas mileage, I went with the EV. I specifically chose the Silverado EV over the Rivian or the Cybertruck and also the Ford Lightning. I would say of all of those, the Ford Lightning was the closest contender because it was a real full-size truck that you can haul stuff with. But there's the rub. When it comes to towing, it just didn't have the range that I could tow with this truck. And hands down, the Silverado EV series, you can pick what size battery you want, and that really dictates the amount of range you got. Again, the Silverado EV LT that I have, which is not the premium, it's the base model, is rated at 421 miles per charge. Whenever I do charge to 100%, it's always giving me a number much higher than that at this point in time. But the range is just wonderful. Whenever we're on a road trip, we always have to stop before it needs to. If you're coming from a gas world where you have gas on every corner, yeah, we still don't have electricity on every corner. But with a little planning, and especially with the map system that they've provided inside here, you can pretty much pick an EV charging station that has restrooms, restaurants, whatever, so that you can make those stops all in the same place. Now, at the time that I was purchasing this truck, I specifically went with the LT trim level. I actually waited for the LT trim level to come out. Before the LT, you basically had the work truck, which is a great truck, but it was a little too basic on the interior. It didn't have the heated, cooled, adjustable seats, especially on the passenger side, which was a requirement that my wife wanted so that when we're on road trips, she can be as comfortable as I can be. You know, can't falter for that. And at the time, the RST was very expensive. So waiting for the LT version, it was a nice midpoint. And then I do shop for my trucks. I don't ever pay retail. I don't, just because somebody tells me, you know, oh, here's the price, that's not necessarily the price I pay. So when I drove this off the lot up in Tacoma, I had, over $17,000 worth of discounts. Now, part of that was at the time, the federal discount was still in play. So that was part of it. But still, again, $17K off the price brought this truck back down to a price that was pretty close to what I would have paid for a brand new gas-powered Chevy Silverado in the same weight class. So really didn't have to pay a lot more, and yet I've got the EV truck that I really wanted. And so, and it's turned out to be a good investment. Again, we're at 22,820 as of right now. Well, went up a mile, sorry. And I haven't had to take it in to the shop for any sort of maintenance, oil changes, anything like that. It did just have, when I bought the truck, it came with one free service, but you have to use it in the first year. So I just now took it in just a couple days ago, took it in for that free service, so that they rotated the tires and filled the water for the windshield wipers. The other thing they did do is I had them check for any of the codes, which they do automatically, and then provide and then did some updates that I did not get over the air. So you do get updates to the vehicle over the air, but you don't necessarily get them all. So if you have any issues, and we have had a couple what I consider minor issues, where the radio would do goofy things. Like the other day, it just stopped being able to adjust the volume. I'm like, what? You're just like, what's going on? Now that was just a software issue, and I could have just rebooted the truck, but I figured I'll just leave it since I knew I was taking it in for that appointment. And sure enough, they applied like 3 or 4 different radio-related software updates to the vehicle. So that's a good reason to take it in for service once in a while, to make sure that you are getting the latest updates, because apparently not all of them are coming in over the air. And so that you could put that, over the air updates as a plus. Not getting them all is certainly not necessarily advantageous. So a good reason to take it into the dealer, once in a while. I don't know whether that's once a year, once every couple of years. I'm of the mindset, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I had those couple problems, and so it was good to be able to take it in and have it checked out. Okay, back to fuel efficiency. This truck, I do live in Northern California. I am on PG&E, which is some of the most expensive electricity in the nation, I think. During the summer months, we're paying 63 cents a kilowatt hour, I believe. During the winter months, it does go down. I think right now during the winter, we're at 47 cents. That's at the peak rate. They do have some other lower rates for non-peak. And if you can see the dash in the camera, we're now back down to 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour, which is pretty normal. I get that in most of my driving. So we are climbing a hill. The average is about 1.9. So certainly you can get more efficient EVs out there. But if you want to be able to drive a truck that can haul a lot, this EV does all of that. And, it does use some electricity. But as I was saying, the price of electricity here, even charging this at those high prices, is still less expensive than if I'm driving gas or diesel. Gas and diesel currently in California, this week, gas was in the $4.50 range to $5. Diesel, pretty much similar actually at this point in time. At least in California, diesel is no longer less expensive than gas. It's usually more expensive because we have both a diesel and a gas truck as well. So, and I've done other podcasts comparing in more detail, YouTubes, on comparing the price of electricity versus the price of gas. And I'll leave some references in the comments if you want to check out any of those videos. Something, hopefully you can tell from the videos, but This truck is very comfortable to ride in. I would actually say this truck is more comfortable to ride in than my gas or diesel truck. So if you're looking, and you can get this truck, and especially like some of the higher end GM versions of this truck, um, with even more comfort amenities, I guess would be the word, if that's what you're looking for. In my case, again, I wanted some of the basic things like heated seats, cooled seats, adjustable seats. Um, I didn't need super fancy trim or anything. Although this is very comfortable. It's got a heated steering wheel. The seats, you can heat and cool. There's the knobs. There are knobs to adjust the heat and cool, or you can do it from the screen. Um, there's like a whole climate section here you can see.
Hey guys, as we were recording this video, we realized that it was getting really long and we didn't want to make you sit through hours of review. So we've broken it up into multiple parts. And if you like and subscribe, you will get notified as each part of the review comes out. So please do that so you don't miss any of the great details, and have a great day. Thank you very much.